Most financial planners won't say this out loud. Retirement is a terrible goal. Not because saving money is bad, not because financial independence isn't worth pursuing, but because for most people, retirement as a finish line, in the traditional sense of the term, is the wrong thing to aim for entirely. I've built over 1,000 financial plans. I've sat with hundreds of clients who did everything right, hit the number, left the job, checked every box. And some of them were miserable. Not because they ran out of money, because they ran out of purpose. Nobody talks about that part. The financial industry is very good at telling you how to get to retirement. Nobody asks whether retirement, the way we've defined it, is actually what you want. So that's what this video is about. Not how to retire, but whether retirement should be the goal at all. I left a comfortable corporate career not to retire someday, but to build something I'd never want to quit. That distinction changed everything for me, and I think it might change something for you too. Let's talk about where retirement actually came from. Because most people assume it's a natural life stage, something humans have always moved toward. It's not. Modern retirement was invented in 1889. Otto von Bismarck, the German chancellor, introduced the first government pension program. The retirement age was set at 70. Life expectancy at the time was around 45. It was designed for people who were physically broken by industrial labor. It was never designed for you. Fast forward to today, and we've inherited this model almost completely unchanged. Work hard, save aggressively, hit a number, stop. The entire financial industry is built around that finish line. Every retirement calculator, every target date fund, every "Are you on track" article is optimizing for the same outcome. Get to zero work as fast as possible. But people often don't stop to really think about what happens the day after. Because here's what I've actually seen in practice. The clients who struggle most in retirement aren't the ones who ran out of money. They're the ones who ran out of things that mattered. The executive who built a career over 30 years and then had nothing to lead. The business owner who sold at the perfect time but didn't know what to do on Monday morning. The couple who saved everything, traveled for 2 years, and then looked at each other and asked, "Now what?" This isn't rare. This is common. We just don't talk about it because it doesn't fit the story we've been sold. The story is, work is the problem, retirement is the solution. But what if work, the right type of work, on your own terms, was never the problem to begin with? When people plan for retirement, they think about money. How much do I need? When can I stop? Will it last? Those are important questions, but they should be the second conversation. The first conversation, the one almost nobody has, is about what retirement actually takes away. Because retirement doesn't just change your finances. It removes 4 things that most people don't realize they depend on until they're gone. The first is structure. Work gives your day a shape, a reason to get up, a sequence of events that creates forward momentum. Most people don't notice this until it disappears. When every day becomes Saturday, and I mean that literally, when there's no difference between Monday and Saturday, something quietly breaks down. Not immediately, but over time. The research on this is striking. Unstructured time sounds like freedom. For most people, it becomes anxiety. The second is identity. Like it or not, for most of us, what we do is deeply tied to who we are. Not because that's healthy or right, just because it's true. I see this constantly with high achievers. People who built something, led something, were known for something. The transition out of that role isn't just a schedule change. It's an identity crisis. Who am I if I'm not the person who does this? That question is more destabilizing than any market downturn I've ever seen in a financial plan. The third is contribution. Human beings are wired to matter, to feel useful, to know that what they do has some effect on the world around them. Retirement, traditional, full-stop retirement, can quietly sever that, especially if your social world was built around your work, especially if your sense of purpose was tied to the problems you were solving. Leisure is wonderful, but leisure alone is not enough. Study after study on happiness and longevity points to the same thing. People need to feel needed. The fourth is forward motion. This one is subtle, but it might be the most important. Growth requires challenge. Challenge requires engagement. When you fully disengage, when there's nothing left to learn, no problem left to solve, no skill left to develop, something in us starts to contract rather than expand. The data on cognitive decline post-retirement is worth paying attention to. And this isn't about fear. It's about understanding what keeps us sharp, vital, and fully alive. So if retirement is the wrong goal, what's the right one? This is where I want to offer you a different way to think about it. Not retirement, optionality. The goal isn't to stop. The goal is to reach a place where you could stop, but you don't have to. Where you work because you choose to, because it energizes you, because it connects you to something meaningful, not because a number in your bank account is telling you to. That distinction sounds small. It isn't. When I left my corporate career 2 years ago, I wasn't retiring. I was 40 years old, I had a good salary, good benefits, a clear path upward. I left because I wanted to build something I'd never want to quit. Not a job, not even a career. A way of working that fit the life I actually wanted to live. Clients I genuinely enjoyed helping. Hours I controlled. Work that used the best of what I know without the parts that were draining me. I'm not working toward a finish line. I'm already living the answer. And here's what that's done financially, something most planners don't talk about. When you design work you'd never want to fully quit, even part-time, even scaled back, even doing something completely different from what you do now, the financial math changes dramatically in your favor. Think about what changes when you're generating even modest income into your 60s and 70s. You draw down your portfolio later or at a reduced amount. Sequence of returns risk drops significantly. Social Security gets more powerful the longer you wait. The number you need to feel financially secure gets smaller. And the psychological pressure that sits underneath every financial plan, what if I run out of money, quietly releases. Flexibility isn't just a lifestyle philosophy. It's one of the most powerful financial strategies available to you. So what does this actually look like in practice? It looks different for everyone. That's the point. For some people, it's scaling back from full-time to consulting in the same field. For others, it's pivoting entirely to something they always wanted to do, but never had time for. For others, it's building something small, a practice, a craft, a business that generates enough to matter without consuming everything. The common thread isn't the type of work, it's the intention behind it. You designed it, you chose it, you could walk away, but you don't want to. That is a fundamentally different relationship with work than the one most people have. And it requires a fundamentally different kind of financial plan to support it. Not a plan built around a finish line, a plan built around a life. Let's dive deeper into why this isn't just a philosophy. Let's start with the most important variable in any retirement projection, the date you stop earning. Most financial planning treats this as fixed. You pick a retirement age, 60, 62, 65, and we build everything around that number. The entire plan optimizes for getting you to that date with enough money to last. But what if instead of fully stopping at 62, you transition to something you loved, something generating even $30,000 to $50,000 a year until 70? The difference in your financial plan is not marginal, it's transformational. Here's why. First, your portfolio gets more time to grow. Every year you're not drawing it down is a year it's compounding. That's not a small thing. That's potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars of difference depending on your balance and market conditions. Second, sequence of returns risk nearly disappears. If you retire and the market drops 30% in your first 2 years of withdrawals, depending on your asset allocation, it may be tough to recover. The order of returns matters enormously when you're drawing down. But if you're still generating income, even modest income during those early years, you don't have to sell depressed assets to pay your bills. You wait, the portfolio recovers. The sequence of returns problem is essentially neutralized. That alone could be worth millions over the course of a retirement. Third, Social Security becomes dramatically more valuable. Most people claim Social Security as soon as they can because they need the income. But every year you delay past 62 increases your benefit by roughly 6 to 8%. From 62 to 70, that's a potential increase of 75% or more in your monthly benefit, guaranteed, inflation adjusted for life. If you're still making an income and don't need Social Security yet, waiting becomes one of the highest returning financial decisions available to you. No market risk, no fees, just a significantly larger check for the rest of your life. Fourth, the number you actually need gets smaller. This is the one that surprises people most. What if in retirement you plan to spend the same amount you did while working? Continue living the same lifestyle or spend more? That's a big number. It requires a big portfolio. But if you're generating $40,000 a year doing work you enjoy, that's $40,000 your portfolio doesn't have to produce. At a 4% withdrawal rate, that's the equivalent of having an extra $1 million in savings. Not because you saved more, because you designed a life where you needed less from your portfolio. This is what I mean when I say flexibility is a financial strategy. It's not about grinding longer because you have to. It's about designing something sustainable because you want to, and letting the financial benefits compound around that decision. The clients I work with who have the most financially resilient plans aren't always the ones with the biggest portfolios. They're the ones who never fully stopped doing something that mattered to them. That's not an accident. That's a plan. So let me leave you with one question. What would you do for the next 20 years if you never had to fully stop, but you got to choose exactly what you did, when you did it, and who you did it with? I mean the thing that would make you feel fully alive, useful, like you were still becoming something. If you can answer that question clearly, you can build a life plan around it that's more powerful than anything a traditional retirement calculator will ever show you. If you can't answer it yet, that's okay. Most people can't. But that's where the real work starts, not with your portfolio, with that question. If you're looking for ideas on how to find that thing, subscribe and stay tuned for next week's video.